Good morning, Valley of the Sun. Thank you for joining me, your host, Nathan Claiborne of the Phoenix Real Estate Roundup. Today is Wednesday, January 18th. My sincere apologies. I'm a little bit late on this. Usually I do it on Tuesdays, but yesterday ran away from me. But I'm here with you on Wednesday. Today, there are 16,052 homes actively listed on our multiple listing service here. So that's the lowest number we've seen in quite a while. We're about to dip back below 16,000. And as one begets the other, interest rates this morning are 6.04%, also the lowest we've had in 4 months. Those are correlated for a reason. When interest rates go down, more people want to buy houses. And CNBC just put out an article this morning talking about this. Week over week, that last week to this week, mortgage applications went up 30%, 28%, but I'm just rounding, 30% in 1 week, week over week. Now, we're still down about 37% from last year, but last year they were at record highs. So 30% less than record highs is about normal. And we are seeing more than we've seen in the last 4 months. So spring selling season is off to a pretty good start in earnest, thanks mostly to the fact that interest rates have dropped down to where they are now, 6.04%. And I suspect that they're going to go a little bit lower, possibly dipping below 6% here in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Of course, we'll report on that for you. But as I continue to watch the inventory and interest rate situation, this is not tipping over into some massive seller's market or a massive buyer's market. It is still a seller's market. I repeat, it is still a seller-weighted market. So if you're thinking about buying a house and you just can't wait to get a smoking deal and you're going to flip it and make a bunch of money, that's not what we're doing here. That's not what this market is telling us. This market is telling us that it is normalizing, that a relatively balanced number of sellers and buyers are in the marketplace right now. And in fact, there's more buyers than there are sellers. So sellers still have a little bit of leverage. Not a lot, not as much as they did a year ago, but they still have some. So I want to make sure that none of us, I just got off the phone with a prospect who was sure that we are going to go through a crash and the housing market's going to crash. Look, I look at this data every day, and I can't predict the future. I'm not going to give anybody a guarantee, but there is nothing in any of this data that would indicate that there's some kind of crash coming. I don't know where it would come from. Inflation has decreased 7 months in a row. Jobs are still strong. So prices are starting to level off. The housing market's starting to level off and normalize. I just don't see a crash. So if you're ready to go look for a house, just know it's going to act like a normal housing market, which is great. Normal is good. Last 2 years were not good. Even though a lot of people were able to buy houses, it was really difficult. So if you're ready to jump in, let's have a conversation about it. Next up today, the board game company Top Trumps USA has released a Scottsdale edition of the famous Monopoly board game with Scottsdale landmarks and Scottsdale-themed money and a Scottsdale-themed board. Really fun. It's got this Phoenician on there and the Fairmont and Tom's Thumb and the Scottsdale Airport, et cetera, et cetera. It looks like a lot of fun. It's available nationwide at Barnes & Noble. The Scottsdale edition of Monopoly. That's my fun story of the day this week. Mostly my story is centered around the fact that lots of buyers are in the market. More buyers are coming into the market. Repeat after me. It is not a buyer's market. Demand is still very strong for homes. Okay, speaking of homes and demand for them, the luxury market is certainly it moves slower in general, but there is still robust demand in the luxury market. We haven't seen price adjustments really up there in the million plus range. And this past week, your baller House of the Week, also in Paradise Valley. They're on a run the last 2 weeks in a row. Another Paradise Valley home sold in the last week at 6601 East Malcolm Drive, right behind the courthouse, almost to 68th Street there. It is a beautiful house on an acre and 2/3. It is 8,398 square foot, 5 bedroom, 6.5 bathroom home, sold, actually just closed yesterday. sold on the listing side by HomeSmart and on the buyer side by somebody off market, by a non-registered agent, possibly from out of state. Sometimes that happens. So congratulations to both those agents, and especially that house who just bought the baller house of the week. And thank you all for joining me this week for the Phoenix Real Estate Roundup. I am your host, Nathan Claiborne. Thanks again.